Hello friends, welcome to Code Crush Coding. In this video we will see practical implementation of inheritance. If you haven't watched the video of basic concepts of OOPS, so please do watch this video before watching the practical implementation. So what is inheritance? So inheritance is basically when the child class or the derived class is inheriting the properties from the parent class or base class. So whatever the properties are there of base class will be inherited by the child class. So what is the syntax to declare the child class? So in the similar way we define the class, we need to make use of this class keyword, then the name of the derived class, and inside the bracket we need to pass the name of parent class and then our block of statements for Python code. So class can inherit multiple classes by mentioning all of them inside the bracket. So in this syntax we have only one base class, but what if the derived class is deriving the properties from multiple base classes? So in that case you need to provide the name of all classes separated by the comma inside the brackets. So this is actually a multi-level inheritance. Here you can see this is only a one level inheritance where one child class is inheriting the properties from one parent class. But there could also be a multi-level inheritance. So multi-level inheritance is achieved when a derived class inherits another derived class. There is no limit on the number of levels up to which the multi-level inheritance is achieved in Python. So let's see in our code how we can declare the parent class as well as the child class. So this is my inheritance.python file. So what we will do here, let's first declare a class. Let's give a name of class as animal. So here we have animal class, and inside this class we will declare one method def. Let's say name of my method is, let's say, show, and here I will print inside animal class, right? So I will close this class now and I will declare another class, let's say dog, and this is the class which is inheriting the properties from animal. So I will need to provide here name of parent class, so animal, and I will have another method here def, let's say bark is my method name, and I will print here print inside dog class. Okay, so I will close this class. Now I have these two classes. So this is the parent class, this is the child class, because it is inheriting the properties from the parent class. And if I try to create an object of this dog, let's first create the object of dog. Let's say d equals to dog. So this is my object, so same name as the class name, so dog. And if I try to access the method from the dog class, I will need to make use of this object d dot. So as you can see, I'm getting two suggestions, the method from the animal class show as well as the method from the dog class bark. If I say here bark, so which is the method of this class only dog, but I'm also able to access the method of parent class show. So see, the show method is not present in this animal class, but still I am able to access the show method because dog is inheriting the properties from animal class. So if I try to run this code, it is executing successfully. I am getting the two statements inside dog class, also inside animal class, because this dog class will have the properties of animal class as well. What if I remove the inheritance here? So in that case I should not be able to access the show method because this is only available in the animal class. So if I try to run this code now, So I'm getting here error, right? The error says dog object has no attribute show, because in the dog there is no attribute called as show, because show is available only in the animal class. So once I inherit this animal inside the child class, I will be able to access. See, I'm able to access inside dog class, also inside animal class. So this is what we have executed here, one base class and one derived class, where our base class was animal and derived class was dog. So in multi-level inheritance, where we can have class 1 which will inherit the properties, class 2 will inherit the properties from class 1, and also there will be a class 3 which will inherit the properties from class 2, which will be a multi-level inheritance. So multi-level inheritance is achieved when a derived class inherits another derived class. So there is no limit on the number of levels up to which the multi-level inheritance is achieved in Python. So what we will do now, we will create another class here. Let's create another class, and let's give it name as pet dog. This is the class name, and this class will inherit this property from the dog class. So I will provide here parent class as dog and give here one function def it. So this is my function inside the pet dog class, and I will print here inside pet dog class. So our existing code here, we have created the object of dog class. It will have bark and show, but whether this dog will have the it class, it will not contain the it, because it is the parent class, right? So it is not available inside this dog. If I try to access this d dot, I'm not getting it here, right? Because it is not available inside the dog. But let me remove this part. If I try to create the object of pet dog now, let's create object d equals to pet dog. So this pet dog will have the access of it, because it is declared inside this pet dog only, right? So it will have d dot it. Now this pet dog is having the parent class dog, so whatever inside the dog, it will also get available to this pet dog. So dog has bark, so it will also get accessible by this object d dot bark, able to get. So as this pet dog is having the parent class dog, so it will have all the access of dog. So dog has the bark method, but dog is also accessing the animal as the parent class, so it will also have the content of this animal class, which is having the method show. If I try to get now d dot show, I'm able to access the all three methods. So the parent class which are accessing the variables to all the child classes will get accessible now. Let's try to run this code. So what error we are getting here on line 14? It says it missing one required positional argument self. If 8, let me remove here. We copy paste this type park here. Remove this eat inside pet talk. If I try to run this code, so we are getting an error. We are getting an error because we have instantiated the object in wrong way. We need to pass here the brackets pet dog, right? If I try to run this code now, it will get executed successfully. So see, with the help of the object which is of only the pet dog class, but still we are able to access all three methods inside pet dog class, inside dog class, and inside animal class. So that is the use of multi-level inheritance. So we can have n number of classes which will inherit the properties from one another. Now let's remove this third method, class pet dog, or what we can do, let's have this method. Now here we have def bark in the animal, in the dog class. So we can also have the same method which is inside the parent class. We can have the same method in the child class as well. So let's have this method here, def bark, right, which is the same method. And what we will do here, print inside pet dog bark method. Now what earlier we were doing, we were calling this d.bark. So this bark was getting called of the parent class, as at that time we were not having this method inside this class. But as we have now this method inside the class itself, whether it will call the method of child class or whether it will call the method of parent class. So as you have seen, this method is calling the method of child class only. Here you can see it inside pet dog bark method. So that's it in this video. We will cover other topics in next video.